guys, this is Alex here from Team Hero, and today we're going to be doing a mod review on Zaedes Steamworks. So I'm joined here by Dustin.
Hello everyone.
And yeah, so this is a very, very new mod, and it's for 1.3.2, and it's pretty much Steam power. Steam power and machines that run on Steam power to make life in Minecraft just a little bit easier. So, you can see here I sort of had, I guess not right now, but you can, so I have a nice little setup here to show you guys this mod and everything it can do. But first of all, let me just get rid of my inventory
taking out the trash.
Because I shouldn't have had it, and I already have everything I need in chests that are scattered around the map. So, why don't we begin? So, if you want to make steam, what do you do? Well, if you were in real life, you would boil water.
Right.
And guess what? That's how you do it here too. So this is the heater, everybody. So you can see how you craft it in the bottom left of the screen. Just requires a furnace and some iron. So how you would use the heater is you just get a cauldron, fill it with water, and you'd boil it just like how you would in real life.
Now that makes sense.
Except I'd be frightened if you actually had a cauldron in your house, because that's not normal. Right, so it's it's coal powered, so you just stick some coal in there. Oh, and you can notice here that also you can't actually place the block on that block.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but that's okay. So you fill it with water, and it's coal powered, but the thing is, there's no UI for the heater or any block in this mod, so you just sort of pop it in. You just right click on it with coal, and the coal will disappear. You'll see that now.
Oh, okay.
Which sort of gives it a little bit of a disadvantage because you can't stack coal in it, but that's alright.
That does make it a little bit slow.
It does, because you have to keep monitoring it in order to create more steam. So this is the first way of making steam. There actually is more ways, but this is the slowest one. Or actually, no, it's not the slowest one. I'll show you the slowest one after this. But so I'll just leave that to burn for a little bit. These little particles that come up aren't actually the steam. Like you'll actually see like a transparent block.
Oh, okay.
That will come with time. So because this is taking so long, I'm going to move on to the next way to make steam, just so we can let that one go and do its thing. Yeah, this is Steam-O-Matic. It's pretty much like the other one, except for the fact that you don't need a cauldron with water or coal.
Well,
it just relies on redstone. So
that's better.
Just put a little switch on it, flick it. But as I said earlier, this is slower because obviously it doesn't require resources.
Oh, right, okay.
So this will do its thing as well and pop out some steam eventually. This one's taking longer than I thought, but while these two are loading again, we can even go on to the third way of making steam, and then we can reflect upon those after.
More advanced technology.
So, exactly, that's key. So this is the Mark II of the Steam-O-Matic. It's more advanced. And you need to go to the Nether for this, though. So I guess it is balanced, because this is the best one.
Oh yeah, you can see the Nether rack there.
You can see the Nether rack, and so this is the best one. I actually do use this for the rest of the video. I use this specific one just because the other ones are slow. Oh, okay, there you see.
Oh, there's the steam.
Yeah, there's some steam. It's coming out very nicely. It sort of floats, so eventually it will rise, and more steam will be created under it.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
Yes. So, yeah, we can let that be for a little bit.
Yeah, science chicken.
Science chicken! Anyway. he's just observing. Nothing much. Yeah, so I think, if I remember correctly, the Mark II Steam-O-Matic will actually pop out of steam even before the just the plain Steam-O-Matic, just because the Steam-O-Matic sucks. Sucks a lot. So,
there it is.
yeah, there we go. So, it popped out some steam, and yeah, so none of the steam has actually risen yet, but it does, and then it creates more steam. It's a very, very slow process. But anyway, so we have steam now, but that's not very helpful to us in this form. We need to convert it into power. And how would we do that, you may ask? We use a block that comes with the mod called the engine. And the thing is, we need the engine in order to power any of the machines.
Okay.
So the engine's a pretty easy to craft item. It just requires some stone and a furnace. And how I like to put the engines on is I like to put them 2 blocks above the producer of steam,
Alright.
like that. You need some dirt to do that. So
it absorbed the steam there.
yes, it did absorb the steam, and you can see that it's actually creating smoke, which means that the engine is indeed powered.
Ah, that makes sense.
Okay, and you can see the steam here. It actually did move a little bit. So I can do the same thing with this one. I can place an engine up there, and it may or may not absorb the steam. I don't know if it does. I can't quite remember. But it should. If we leave it long enough, it will do the same thing, and it will start puffing out black smoke. And look at that Steam-O-Matic. It still hasn't even anything.
Yeah, it's the derpy machine.
Yes, indeed. Right. So that's just one way that you can power. Oh, not a chicken.
No, it's
Well,
the same
anyway.
size chicken.
Oh, it is the same.
He's going back behind his laboratory there.
That's where all the piston stuff is. Oh, back to his perch. Anyway.
Oh, the Steam-O-Matic, or the yeah.
There we
they did
go.
it.
Finally producing. Anyway, so this is another way you can actually place an engine. You can either place it 2 blocks above, where I find that you can place it 1 block above, but never right on top of it. That was my first impression. I got very irritated because it didn't create steam like that. And yeah, you can also place it directly next to it. It's pretty much, you can't place it underneath or directly above.
Okay.
That's what I feel. That's what I found after lots of experimentation. Well,
Come along,
so
science
enough of
chicken.
that. It's not going to come. Enough of that. We can see some of the other things are repaired. There are some more machines, and I just blocked out the science chicken there.
Oh.
So I have a little bit of stuff set up here, and I
wow,
was
yeah.
very happy with
Oh
it. But then,
that was explosive.
yes, it was, and it was a little bit depressing. I was just because I just built that for this thing, and now to build it again. But anyway.
Oh, so the steam blocks stayed there.
They do, I guess. Now, the reason it exploded, I'm not so sure. I don't remember reading that machines exploded, but obviously they do. So be wary. And I don't quite know what circumstances require machines to explode. I guess.
Yeah, it kind of just happened randomly once we came in.
It did. So I'm confused about that. Was that just coincidence or what? I don't know.
It was the doings of science chicken.
Damn it, science chicken. Anyway, so we have the transporter now. So pretty much this is used if you want to transport steam energy from an engine to another place on the map. It'd probably be useful if you start building machines that use steam power, and you'll see the machines they'll come up in a bit. It's pretty simple to build a transporter, just 6 refined stone. So yeah. So now you can see I have an engine powered there, and I have a lot of pre-powered engines, by the way, on this map, so just to save us some time.
Right.
And I'm going to build another engine there, and here is the transporter. So you can see that there's 2 sides to the transporter, one's red and one's green. The green marks the input of the power, and the red marks the output. So if I was to put it right between these engines, and I'd have to, it always places facing the red side, so I have to facing the output. So to place it this way, so the input would be on the other side, and you can see that once I do that, if I do that,
There
we go. So
powering that one.
yeah, you can see how there's little bits of smoke coming
Yeah,
up,
it's
so that
working.
means that power is transferred.
Oh, okay.
And yep, I realized that this room was a little small, but I wanted to try extending it even further, and there we go. And I think there is a bit of a loss from the transporter. If I remember, I think out of 100 units of power that you send through a transporter, 1 is lost. So it's still very good. You retain 99% of the power, but just something to keep in mind if you want to just go insane.
Just like redstone, how it needs to keep being powered.
Except you don't lose redstone
Yeah,
power, I can
that's
say.
true.
You can say. But so this is our next station. This is the first machine, and this is one of my favorite machines in the mod. And you can see I have a pre-powered
Yeah, it
engine
seems to be
use
working
this
pretty
machine.
hard there.
Very, very hard. I left it on for too long. I think this one might have actually exploded if I left it on for even longer. So, this first block is called the ore refiner.
Oh, look at all the pretty ores.
Yes, very, very pretty. And I just need to chuck out some stuff, first of all. Just because I didn't remember that being in creative mode would cause items to stay in the inventory.
Right.
But that's all right. So there we go. The ore refiner it requires iron and an engine block and then some clean stone. So you see, I have a lot of pretty ores in there, and I'll show you why I have a lot of pretty ores.
Except for that
So-
coal ore and the diamond ore, we don't actually use that ore. And redstone and lapis.
Well, I'll show you. Yeah, that is true. So it does require silk touch in order to be useful for those, but it sort of acts like efficiency is an efficiency enchantment as well.
Oh, okay.
Now, what I'm doing here is I'm placing the machines next to the engine block. That's the only way to power them. I've tried many things. I've tried placing them above, below, in the corners, but it didn't work. So you have to make sure you place machines to the right or like next to the block in order to be used. Now you can see here I placed a coal block on it
Oh, you
while
got
the
two
engine
out
was
of it.
powered, and I got 2 coal out of it. So there is that. It does make it useful, you could say. So if you have, but like the thing is, obviously you need the coal ore, so you need to have silk touch in order to actually get it. I use
Well,
iron
that wasn't
there,
very
and
useful. Oh, get out of the
No,
way, you
just
stupid
one.
animal.
so it pops out some cobble and some experience as well as the actual resource you're getting, which is pretty helpful. But now you notice I only got 1 iron bar out of there, which is the exact same as smelting. So it's pretty useful. I mean, it's quicker. It is quicker, but I can imagine if you had like a bunch of stuff there, it would be.
So if you
a
were
bunch
to
of
spam it repeatedly
ore
and put a bunch of ores in it, would it explode, or is that okay?
would it explode? Sorry, or
Yeah,
say-
like if
or
you were
over-
just to
oh.
keep putting in blocks
Yeah,
over
if
and
you
over
keep
and over
putting them,
again.
what would happen is it would just use up the all the steam,
Oh,
and then
right, okay.
the block will wait on top until it has enough steam. So right now there's a lot of steam, so I can put a lot on
Yeah,
without
that makes
the process slowing. So you can see redstone and lapis didn't seem to be very useful because they produce a little less than you actually would mine. But now you can see diamond. I got 2
Oh
diamond
yeah,
out
it
of
was
that.
just behind it.
It was behind it. Yeah, it was a little hidden, but it produces 2 diamond, which is very useful. So, and like again, if you had silk touch, you could do that. Now, let me show you some of the applications of the ore refiner, so you can see if you had a setup like this. I have 4 steam producers, Steam-O-Matics, and I have 4 engines above. And connected to each of the engines are 2 ore refiners, and you can see I can just go crazy here. Now the thing is that it doesn't work like this all the time. This is just because I've left the ore refiner on for so long. I could place so many, but now you see I've run out of power on some of these engines, so now the diamond is actually staying there.
Right.
And you can see I have a lot of diamond. I think I might have had some from before as well. And it's very useful like that. You can refine ores and double your diamonds in coal. Now, being me, I like to take things a step further. So, here I built a little setup that could be useful to some people. It's pretty cool, I found. If you can't already understand what it does from looking at it, it pushes diamond across.
Oh yeah,
the
there's
push
the
of a
piston
button.
on the side there.
There is a piston that's hooked up to that button. So diamonds will be pushed across, and they will actually be sucked in, and it would create diamond. Unfortunately, I had to leave this engine off because this one tended to explode quite easily. I don't quite know why, but this one wanted to explode. And now that I turned it on, it didn't really seem to be working. So I decided to leave it so it could power for a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll visit the next one, and then I'll come back.